I pulled up something from your website. We just want to be able to give people who are going to watch the podcast a little bit of a insight into Kevin Lund. And so we'll just start with that. So it's like that basically, since you were young, right, you worked with your dad at the family business, and during the summer breaks from school, you had a lifelong exposure to the construction industry, which drove you back after college. Since officially joining Lund Construction in 1986, you've held jobs as a laborer, as an operator, underground foreman, jobs closeout foreman, and safety manager. A great example of doing the work to get to where you are. And you are recently grown into the role of president, where you handle everything from recruiting and business development to safety administration, general office procedures, company financial transactions, company's captive insurance program, and working with architects, engineers on your new office bill we look forward to hearing more about. And you place a heavy emphasis on relationships. I've seen that firsthand, safety procedures, and company culture. And you spend time in the field. You like to check on employees. Customer satisfaction is important, ensuring quality controls. You have worked closely with the team, both inside and outside the office, to grow the company and double the revenue since 2015, which is super exciting. One of the things that personally I've seen is your heart for volunteering, for donating, for supporting programs in the community the company serves. And you've it's become an important part of Lund Construction with the culture under your leadership. I've definitely seen that. You currently serve as in the industry as president of the Northern Alliance of Engineering Contractors, president of the Safety Committee for Basic Crafts. You're passionate about raising money and awareness for children and vets. And you also serve on the board of Fairy Tale Town and Donovan Creason Memorial. And you've recently joined the Homemade Board of Directors in 2022. And in the free time, you like fishing, spending time with family, camping, and barbecuing. And it's interesting. Dressasaur, just an example of Kevin with his heart is like, he's a galvanizer within Working Genius. And during our fundraiser, he got up and was like, all right, guys. And he was like raising hand for different things. And all right, everybody, come on, like, let's get into it. And I think he single-handedly helped us raise like twice the money that we would have otherwise. So,
and one of my favorite success stories is one thing you didn't, which is not on the website, but the Chat Learning Center, which is cochlear implants, is one of probably my biggest success stories. And I'm gonna have to be careful, but how much I talk about this, but I'm just, it's true to my heart, and a lot of my friends that I take to their center, and just how hard these kids and honestly how hard the parents have to work. It's pretty awesome to be part of that. And when they came to me and said, because of what you do on social media and the people like you guys and everybody who, brings it out there and brings it to the community, it wakes the community up and lets them be involved. So it's not just about what I'm doing, it's about what my friends are doing, whether they're in your business, Justin, the podcast business, ANRAC, Tiger. I mean, I grew up in this community around Tiger Construction, and you might think, oh, well, they're probably, I don't even know if they consider us a competitor, but they're a huge company, but they've been around for over 100 years. And I just learned, if you're going to be part of this community and be successful, you have to give back. And it's not only does it feel like a good thing to do, but it's the right thing to do. The community wants to support people who are part of the community. So, and I really believe, nobody's going to get rich off a podcast. But you guys are giving back. You want to get your story out there, and me giving some time to you guys is honestly a thank you to giving me a time to preach for my charities that I love. So like it takes the whole community. I know it's like an old dumb quote that says it takes a village to raise a child, but it really does. Like it really takes all of us working together to show the community what we can do. So yeah, I appreciate what you guys do.
Oh, thank you. And just to piggyback on that is the idea of like a family business. Like I think the differentiator for a family business is that you treat the community like your family, and you inspire your employees, as I've seen you do. I know countless people have seen you do, Kevin, of like inspiring then your employees to want to give back and to get involved. And then that actually is a self-fulfilling prophecy of your company building a stronger culture and a more engaged workforce, and everybody working together for the greater good. And then that actually, I think, creates better employees and loyal employees and loyal customers. So it's all just kind of that virtuous cycle, right?
Right. Well, and you think about this. If I take an employee out to lunch and he says, "Thank you for lunch," and I always say, well, you understand, I wouldn't even have a company credit card without employees. I truly believe in it. Without everybody who's doing their job. I'm sitting in here right now talking to you guys. There's 200 men out there in the heat, working their butt off to take care of their families, and they're taking care of my family too at the same time. And I don't take that lightly. That's why it's very important that we have, electrolytes and all the extra little things that maybe we can do, King's tickets for employees, different things that we can do for our employees to give back. Because without them, without you guys working, you understand. It's part of the whole thing. So, and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
And I thought I had it out of the picture, and you can see half of it in this picture, but it's my stupid little Kevin, cardboard Kevin. But that comes from American Heart Association, where I'm on a committee for the Heart Ball. And I'll never forget just listening to the stories that come from the Heart Ball, where these children maybe are born with a degenerative heart, or maybe somebody's had a stroke or somebody's had a heart attack, and they tell the story of what they've gone through in their life. And it's like, oh my gosh. My kids, I was very lucky. Really no real health issues. My daughter didn't walk until she was 2, and Lund's kind of have a little bit of a bigger head, but she was perfectly fine. They just thought maybe there was a problem, but she turned out to be fine, and she's doing great. Just graduated college. My son's a year from graduating college, and I've just been pretty lucky. And there's a lot of people that are not that lucky. And so whatever we can do as a company and as a community to help them, I think we should.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely amazing. You mentioned Tykert and how they've been around for 100 plus years, but your company was established in 1958, and that's nothing to sneeze at either, right? And you're third generation. So perhaps you can just kind of go into the origin story of Lund Construction. We'd love to hear it.
Okay, so so I graduated high school in 1989, and I went to Roseville High School, even though I grew up in Rockland. And my mom, it's so funny because I live very close to where my mom dropped me off. Probably I was 15 years old, so I didn't do the math before we talked, but I graduated 89, so I'm probably talking 86 range. My mom would drop me off at Douglas Boulevard in Eureka. If you turn on Eureka, there was a barricade right there. And my mom would drop me off there every morning at about 6:30, because in my family, if work starts at 7, you're there at least a half an hour early. It's just the way it is. And it's difficult because a lot of these younger people nowadays, hey, we want to work from home. We want to do this and that. And the only way I ever learned how to work was from people that taught me how to work. And I know the community is different now and people are different, but I really believe in, I love being in my office. And 10 people have walked past my office since we've just started doing this. And if my door is closed, they know I'm working and something's busy, but my door 99% of the time is open because I want them to walk in and ask me questions. And I've got a lot of experience from, don't let him tell you I said this, my 80-year-old father, who will be here, Wednesday morning. He just happens to be on vacation right now, but he still shows up at work at 4:30 a.m. And so there's a huge family value that's put into family businesses because, like he said, the only way I've ever made money is being at work. He never made money from staying home, doing this and that. You got to be here, take care of the team, and be part of the business. So dropped off, and I remember my mom would literally pick us up maybe an hour late, right? Maybe she'd show up, and we worked from 7 to 3:30, and she'd show up at 4:30. And I'm like, Mom, do you know if you'd have picked me up at 3:30, like you said, that would have been perfect. But you picked us up at 4:30. If you would have just said 4:30, I could have made another $7, right? Because my dad was paying us somewhere around the $5 range, right? Back in those days. And I was like, do you know how much money that is, Mom? Like, if you had just been on time, but come on. I mean, that's just the way we grew up was you go to work and parents are parents and the kids are kids. And, I don't feel bad about what I had to do. I work 6-7 days a week my whole life, and I don't have to right now. I have an amazing team. But I did go through the laborers, operating equipment to running crews, running equipment. I mean, I've literally dug on a tractor around gas lines that I broke, little problems, and gas lines that they wouldn't let me dig around because would have been a bigger problem. And just, seeing guys in ditches that are 30 feet deep. And this is what keeps our community going. Like, no matter what, we might switch from this computer to AI to all this and that, but we're always going to need to be able to flush our toilets and run our sinks and get a drink of water. And I mean, that's the infrastructure that our company builds for the community. And there's a lot of great men and women out there building that infrastructure for all of us. Like, we don't do anything to do with the buildings, but if you walked around both of your offices right now, you have bathrooms and sinks and kitchens and all that stuff. We have to put in the infrastructure before somebody gets there. So yeah, it's pretty awesome to know that we have a little part in all that, and it's never going to run out. Like, I don't care if you go downtown San Francisco, they have 100-year-old pipelines that have to be replaced. Like, it's just the community needs water, sewer, storm drain, electricity, and all that kind of stuff that keeps it going. So somebody has to do that, and it's going to take some hard workers. I mean, guys that literally go out in the 105-degree weather and work their butt off. And so it's our job to make sure that they go home every night. So we have to do the best we can, try and provide shade, water, and when somebody's tired, give them a break. Like, it's just a different world out there.
Yeah. So you've kind of covered what really hasn't changed in the industry, but what has changed since your tenure of being in business, and like, what do you see, potentially changing in the future? You mentioned, perspectives of staff around, their attitudes and what they, the way they want to work. I mean, is it that which we're moving towards, or is it something else?
Well, everything's changed. And to be honest with you, if you're not going to change, and I saw this, if we didn't change, we were going to, become like a dinosaur, extinct. Education. I mean, I truly believe in education for all of our employees. I don't care from the top to the bottom. We want our lowest man, the brand new guy that we hire, if he comes in and he says, listen, this is unsafe, we want him to be able to speak up and say, I'm not going down in that ditch without the right shoring or the right air monitoring or this or that. To the newer offices with, the computer systems that help the estimating and the technology that helps get there. And I mean, one of the things that bothers some of the older guys in the industry is it's a lot more paperwork. Like, we have to submit every little tiny thing we do for a job. So when we build a road, there's AB, which is aggregate base, AB underneath the road. The classification for AB is class 2 AB. We have to submit on, if Tiger or Vulcan or whoever the person we buy, we have to submit on their class 2 AB. Well, it's literally right there in the name. It's already qualified as class 2A, but they make us submit on it. So let's say somebody at a different age group than I am, they're like, why do we need so many people in our office doing all this paperwork? And it's just because of the change. Like, it takes so much more time to actually submit on all the changes and to make sure. And part of it is because a lot of things got pushed through back in the day without, good and bad contractors not doing a good job, and so they want to make sure that the infrastructure is sound to produce, and can you imagine what it takes for San Francisco to run that 7 by 7 mile block of land and what's underground? I mean, even in my business, what I do and what we do here in town, I've seen a lot. I mean, I've seen ditches where my daughter, back in high school, walked up to the edge of the ditch and I said, listen, I'm going to hold your back, because when you look below ground 30 feet, you're going to lose your equilibrium a little bit. Men are going to look like little tiny ants running around down there, and they're in a safe zone, but it is going to mess up your head system. So I just want to make sure you don't fall. Can you imagine in San Francisco, where they've been doing this for a couple 100 years plus? I mean, there's more. I've been in San Francisco and been like, oh my God, I don't even understand. Like, it's just mind blowing to me. And you see these pictures from New York, the Boston Great Dig, all these things that happen in our community. It takes a lot more than one or two people. It takes a whole process to get this done and to keep our community. Like, what we do is infrastructure, and it's one little tiny piece that starts, right? And then you have all the computer people and all the radio and news and all that stuff. Without the people at our level, which I consider, I don't mean a bottom level, like a lower level, but without the infrastructure, none of that stuff works.
Can we say foundational?
Yes. I mean, we have a contract with SMUD, and luckily SMUD is very forward thinking. Most of the communities, the good service departments are forward thinking, but without them thinking about, holy cow, how do we take care of old infrastructure? Like, just because you live in a 60, 70-year-old neighborhood, you should not have less internet, less power, less anything. Like, the good community leaders want to take care of the older communities as much as the new communities. And so that means they have to keep reinvesting in the older communities. And we have a group of guys that literally go out every day and rebuild SMUD's infrastructure for power. And it's pretty awesome. And it's pretty awesome for a company like us to be able to have a great contract like that, because they are definitely a Class A, what do I call it? Not employer, but like a client for us. Like, SMUD's great. PG&E, all of our communities sourcing around here has been great. We just picked up a big water line with Sac Suburban. I mean, they're trying to make sure that they can still, out at McClellan Air Force Base, still provide great water service to 100-year-old communities. So it's a lot. And a lot of people just don't even know about it, right? Like, everybody flushes their toilet and everybody runs their dishwasher and their washing machine. They don't have any clue what really goes into, and forget about even what we do. What about the people that take everything from what goes downstream from what we're putting in? I mean, there's still another whole group. So just being part of the wheel, it's pretty awesome.
One quick thing on that is something I think I've noticed you do really, really well, and what you just described is, and I think, tell me if this is part of what helps you attract and retain really good talent. We know that's on your mission statement, is how you create relevance, because that's one of the core employee engagement keys, is like relevance. And what you just described is so cool. And I found that galvanizers, people who can inspire people with their words, like that's something that is, you do really well, is like painting the picture of the relevance of the work that your employees do, because it's not just like, digging a ditch or doing some just menial task. It's like, no, you're the foundation, the structure of every community. And so I was just curious if you found that that's something that you do, and whether you found that to be a part of the success of keeping your employees kind of motivated and inspired around driving good work forward with Lund.
Well, it's kind of funny because you use these words, galvanize, and all the things that you've come in and taught us and our people. And I don't know why, I just I have a hard time with a lot, but I believe it, right? I follow the system and I see what comes out of it. But for me, it's just people who get up every day and Like I have kids. I want them to do better than I did, right? Like these people that come, I don't care if they come from Mexico or wherever they come from, like they really just want to give their families back something. They want to see their kids and their family be successful. And so if you can create that atmosphere and you can appreciate people, like I really am not sure what I'm good at, right? And it's funny because a lot of people give me crap about it, and it's like, but you're good at bringing people together, and I know I'm good at something. But I'm going to say this, like, it's not trying to be over humble, but it's trying to be like, you just got to get up every day and do the best you can. And I think most people really want to do good, and as long as you're willing to get up every day and go to work, and you're never going to get anything that you're not willing to work for. I mean, there will be some people that will, but overall, the American dream is about most people who go to work, and it's what it's about. Like, you have to get up every day. You have to be a good part of the community. And I think it's a balance, right? Like, there are some times I probably shouldn't give as much, but damn, like there's a good thing. And so it's like, okay, we're going to squeeze a little harder, maybe not say it out loud, but like, we got to get back a little bit more. And you know what? Good things, I really truly believe, come to good people who work hard. And and everybody needs a hand. And what's the point of being Lund Construction and having a big giant building without being part of a good community, right? And I'm part of a really good family. I mean, if I didn't have my grandfather my grandmother, who I remember at 85 telling me how there was no money and she just juggled to keep the company alive. Like, without her seeing the value, like, not only did she work 6-7 days a week, she freaking did things that women don't do these days. She ironed my grandfather's underwear. I mean, she did things back in the old days, but she taught me a system of, and I don't want my wife to iron my underwear or my whatever, you know what I mean? But it's a little weird to say this on a podcast, but my point is, you got to do what's right for you and what's right for your, the time that you're at, right? And the time we're at is, we got to work hard for people, and we got to help some people. And the people that work hard for you, you got to treat them right. And that's the whole key. And there's a lot of really good companies out there that will treat people right. And there's a lot of companies that don't. So people have to, if it's not going right where you're at, you can't complain. You need to move on. You need to go find that company that wants to take care of you and the community. I get a lot of people asking me, well, why do you support American Heart Association? I don't know the exact answer, but if you ask me why I support American, it's because I knew somebody who had that disease or this or that, and they asked me to. And so we did. I mean, it's just the right thing to be part of a good community. I mean, everybody can work hard, but how do you make yourself a little different, right? Yeah, and how do you, and I'm not kidding you, there's been so many people walk past my office. We have these new glass walls, which is a little odd. Everybody who's walking past our office right now, they're actually right now working hard on building the business and doing the jobs that we have. Amazing developers that we work for. They're working really hard right now on the jobs when I get to talk to you guys and tell you our story. I mean, isn't that kind of cool that they allow me to tell the story? Because if they weren't doing their job, I wouldn't be able to spend the time to talk to you guys. Yeah. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And that's when I say it takes the whole team. It really takes the whole team, all the way from the brand new labor, that if we don't train how to do the job of the operator or the pipe layer, if we don't train them, who's going to do it in 5 years or 10 years from now? So you have to invest in the young people too and get them to come up.
Yeah. So there's two specific veins that I want to dive deeper on. And the first of which is, what are you specifically doing to help and attract and retain some of the top industry talent, right? I don't know if you can go into some of those specifics. And then secondarily, I love to hear that you're investing in that next generation. Could you touch on how you're developing that next set of leaders in your organization?
Right. So I'm going to start with the younger group, right?
Yeah.
And it actually brings in the older group, because what we're doing is we're discussing with the older group to build real programs like a lot of the older companies have done. We need to build real programs on how to train the younger people so that they start here, they move here, they do this, they do that, right? They're going to move up and they see the progress. And older people, which are not old, but the great brains in our business, they see how important that is, right? Because somebody did that for them. So we're letting them create those processes. The younger people are getting to see those processes, and they're working hard to move up. And I'm letting the senior people do what they're good at, like build the business. Like, I am really good at finding good people and bringing people together. And I understand the process of construction, but I don't do Excel like my vice president. He could literally, I mean, if you saw the stuff he writes in Excel, and anybody who understands computer stuff, it blows me away what he does. Like, and I number one, I can't, but number two, you got to let people, Steve Jobs said this, hire great people and let them do their job, right? Yeah. Like, that's what's important, And we've also found that, like, and it kind of was an accident, which is kind of a funny story because it really was an accident that happened to one of these young guys that worked for us. He hurt his foot. And so he was in the office because we wanted to keep our workers' comp, to a minimum. So we put him in the office doing training. And finally we said, hey, what do you think about going into estimating and learning how to do takeoffs and all this? I mean, he is probably one of the best motivating people, best like creating processes. And, he's been with us, I don't know, 4 years now, doing from the time he got hurt as a laborer. Probably and I put him in the build program through the BIA, which is another great program that gets people involved. It's like asking, it's amazing what's happened to us by just letting people do what they're good at. Right. And our senior management, they're better at some of the construction things than I am. Right. They're better at building these processes than I am. But together, with me out front doing the community stuff, doing the business stuff, I can pretty much, I don't want to sound cocky, but I can close deals with clients because they like to know, is the owner actually bought into, like, is he going to be there if there's a problem? I'm going to freaking be there if there's a problem with the job. And I'm going to make sure even if I have to write a check and lose some money, that's what I'm going to do for that client, because they're going to trust me to build their project for them. And there's bigger companies with more money. There's no better companies. I can't say that. I'm sorry. Like, I have some of the best guys in the industry. So, but I mean, there's great companies out there that could do just as good a job, but there's nobody who can do better than us, and we stay in our lane, right? Like, we stay in what we're comfortable in. I mean, there's bigger companies, they can provide other things that we can't provide, but we stay where we are, we push it, and we tell clients the truth. If we're booked, listen, we're booked. We would love to come do your project, but we just don't have the resources to do it. We're not that big, giant company. We're not going to lie to you. We're going to grow, and we're going to keep growing year after year, but we're not going to lie to you and tell you we can do things we can't do. And that messes up schedules, because when it comes to construction, everything is about, well, it really comes down to money, but it's also about the schedule, and the schedule equals money. And so if we push 2 or 3 months on the work we do, that home builder has to pay a lot of extra money and interest and money that he's borrowing. If it's, and even if it's his own money, he's losing money on time value of money. And so we really try and be honest with our clients, and we've done some business development stuff with some great clients. And I literally have said, listen, I'll be the most honest person you'll ever meet. Like, I will tell you if we can do it or not. I would love to be your only contractor. But if you want 1,000 lots built next year, I'm not the right guy for that. You want 400? Yes. Right now, the size we are, I'll come build those for you. But I know where our spot is, and it's going to take away from work from other people, but then I'll be honest with them too. So, and we're going to keep growing, and we're going to keep trying to do better. All right. But we don't need to be the Bechtels and the giant, like, we're not looking to be a worldwide construction company right now. We want to be the contractor of choice for this area. And we want to give opportunities to the people that work for us. And that's the key is if you kind of quit growing, you've also stopped giving opportunities for some of the younger people. So it's pretty important for us to understand, like, we have a new building right now, and it's a little bit bigger, maybe a lot bigger than we need, but it was built for the future, not for today. So it's squeezing us a little bit right now, but I'm going to tell you, our consultant just told us there's no reason we shouldn't be double the size in 3 years. Well, 3 years is nothing. We'll blink and 3 years will be past. We all know that. But it's pretty cool to be able to stand in front of this young group of, I call them kids because I'm getting a little older, but this young group of adults, and be able to tell them, hey, don't worry. I've got, like, my heart wants to give you opportunities. My heart wants to grow. And it wants to grow the smart way too. Like, I don't want to be the biggest guy in town. I want to make more money per dollar we do, but I want to provide more opportunities for you people. So if we can do that, I think we can do both for both of us, right? For the company and for you. Mm-hmm. And I think it's the right thing to do. And we give back more to the community. Just like I know you guys do, right? Like, there's just, it's just about being part of a great community. That's honestly where these podcasts, I really believe, come from. Nobody ever thought they were going to get rich doing a podcast. Right. They like to give back to the community, give back to talking and helping. I mean, you guys right now are helping younger people learn things from people. Not trying to sound like me, but like all the other people. Yeah, most of the other people you're probably talking to, they're learning from. Hopefully, they're learning something from me too. But whatever. I got a cardboard cutout in the background. That's but I appreciate everything. It's really good to be part of this community. And I met Justin kind of on a whim. Like, I got invited to a community event that he was part of, and we just hit it off from there. And I just saw somebody who actually liked the community more than he cared about himself. You see what I'm saying? I didn't mean that to sound wrong, but like, he wanted to give back to the community. And I've seen that through his whole career. And I just got lucky enough to meet you too. So it's been pretty awesome.
Do you find, Kevin, that like when you have that heart for the community and that heart of kind of service and impact, that it attracts people to you that are like similar minded, and then it actually ends up being the type of employees that you want to bring in, the type of businesses you want to do business with? Do you find that that's kind of like something that kind of comes out of that? It's like a natural progression, because that's what I found in my life too.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's like I talk about Tiger, and like I said, a lot of people wonder why I talk about Tiger so much. Well, they've been around for the longest in Sacramento, that people that are really predominant in the community, and most people that work there that are my friends, and like, whether we compete against each other or whether I buy aggregates from them, but like, I had dinner with Mary Tigert at one of their events in Shasta. I got to sit next to her and have dinner with her. I mean, she truly cares about the community. She truly cares about construction. She truly cares about all of us doing well. It wasn't like that night we had dinner, there wasn't a competition. It was a gratitude of thank you for all of us working hard and being part of the community. I mean, by them helping me do well, they're allowing me to give back. And I learned how to give back from people like them and Scott Creason, and who was at Granite for years, contributing to a lot of my charities that I liked. And, and Scott Creason probably was the biggest person at Granite for years. I always said, I need to do more. And finally, one day he said, when are you actually going to do it? And so I've been trying to teach people, because I really don't believe it's about writing a check. I mean, I'm lucky. I get this nice, big, medium-sized company. I can write a check to a lot of things. But I try to teach my kids, you don't have a check to write right now, but you have time. You can donate time. And guess what? The community needs as much time as it needs money. It needs people to go do the work. So yeah, it's pretty big in our I mean, Justin, this in our community. And I see Justin on the same events I'm at. It's truly part of who we are, and it's part of the company. And I definitely know it brings people, everybody wants to be part of that, because it not only feels good, you see the results, and it's pretty awesome. So
yeah. And you feel better working for a company. Like, you go to an event, you bring some of your guys to an event, and you see the impact that's being made. Then they come back and they're like, man, like, I feel really good about the impact that we made, and I feel really good working for this company, that I'm working for a company that cares about me and cares about my success and cares about the community. I think there's an intangible value and benefit to that we can't quantify in terms of how that impacts a business. But it's
right. It's take breast cancer, right? October.
Yeah.
I don't know why we started doing it. We started doing a hat for Breast Cancer Month. Then we end up with an employee who not only, lots of employees, but one specific one, like his wife ended up with breast cancer. Her mother ended up with cancer all at the same time. So I said, why don't you help me do the hat this year? Let's do this hat just for her. And guess what? She actually works at Tiger.
Oh, wow.
And so we did a hat for her and for the company and for everybody, right? And it was super popular. Everybody loved it. And, I get in a little bit of trouble because I might spend a little too much money on hats. But I give them to the community, right? Like, I don't, like, you got to buy good things that the community wants to wear, and it shows support. And it meant a lot to a lot of people, and it's pretty awesome. And it's like, it was really weird because we were looking it up, and it's like, nobody stands alone. And I have to tell you, like, I don't know where that tagline came from. I saw it on a website. But if you think about what the construction industry does, either for the young people, like, nobody has to stand alone. If you want to be successful in construction, there's a program, there's a group of people. It's out there. Somebody will help you. I'll help you. Look up my phone number. My phone number is on our website. So I always tell people, you want my phone number? Look it up on the website, and I will freaking talk to anybody who calls me. I mean, you guys, right? Nobody stands alone, whether it's, the Alliance, whether it's, and you do the ones with the suits. I don't even know their names.
Oh, Dress to Soar.
Yeah. So, I mean, all these people, there's somebody there to help you if you're willing to work for it. I mean, Homemade, I'm on the board. I literally said no to Homemade. And Amber said, Kevin, that's why I know you're going to make a great board member. Because, we want to find people who are busy, and because they do more. And it is great. The Boy Scouts. I mean, I'm an Eagle Scout. They've honored my family. We're still part of the community. They just asked me to be on the board. I literally said, I will say yes. I just can't say yes right now because I still have a company and I won't be able to keep writing checks to support the community if I don't work. So Fairy Tale Town, I mean, you want to talk about an amazing place to be part of. It's just, you don't even realize until you're part of all this stuff. Like, when's the last time you saw a kid with a cast? Well, you guys are quite a bit younger than me, but when I grew up, kids always had casts. They played a lot more. Like, kids don't play as much as they do, as they used to, but it's part of just our culture change. It's not wrong, but it's just, kids need to be out there playing. They need to take risk. I mean, that's what's created this nation of, hardworking people. They take risk. Sometimes you break an arm, but guess what? It does heal, and you'll be better. So it's, Fairy Tale Town is an amazing place. There is just so many great people, and I've been very lucky to be part of all of them. It's why I don't feel so bad not doing as much construction as I do charities say, because my team hasn't let me down yet, and they're just amazing people.
Well, you're an ambassador for your company. I mean, I think one of the things that a leader needs to do is like, you're at that point where you are both inspiring and developing your team, but you're also out in the community building relationships and helping Lund be really well known and thought about in the community. So I think it's natural strengths for you, and it's also a role that a leader needs to be out there bringing. So I think you're a great ambassador for your company and inspiring other CEOs and presidents to be out there and to see a part of their role is to positively impact the community and to be hands-on a little bit, so.
Well, thank you. And I mean, and that's where sometimes like I have a little, like I hope I'm doing it for the right reason, right? Like, of course I want to grow Lund Construction, but I really, 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 truly believe that like helping the community is the right thing to do as a business. And I really believe in the guys that work for us that literally show up here at 4:30, 4 o'clock every morning. And, they freaking get here. They park their truck. Maybe they get a cup of coffee. But I mean, we all know how hard it is to get up early, and they're here. And then they go out and work in the heat all day. Maybe they show up back here at 3:30. Maybe they show up at 6:30. And they do it again day after day after day. And it's not because it's just easy. It's just the way of life. And like without those people, like we don't have infrastructure in this community or this world. And, like it's just something to be not taken lightly. Like it's very, when I drive in the yard and I see all these cars parked out there, I mean, those are the guys that allow me to put our name out there and our dollars out there. And my dollars that I get to write a check for are their dollars. Like without them, I wouldn't have it. So I want them to know, hopefully they hear this podcast. I want them to know, thank you, because it really is their money that's hopefully given back to the community, because I wouldn't have it without them. This company and any company that grows, it really takes everybody who works there.
And that's an interesting thing about your leadership learnings and how it's been formed over time. And like one of the things that Patrick Lencioni, that's my guy, and he talks about like servant leadership or responsibility based leadership and other focused leadership. How you just talked about how you are about, it's their company, it's about them. Like it's not about you. And I'd be curious if there's any key like other really cool nuggets, because what you just shared, every young leader needs to hear, around that it's you doing it for them. It's you have a responsibility to take care of your people, and you want them to know that this is their company. Like, are there any other like nuggets or leadership things that you go like, I really want the 22-year-old who's joining Lund, who I want to develop into, develop into the next VP or next president, 20, 30 years, anything that you've learned that you'd be like, I want them to know that. Are there any principles or any other nuggets? Because what you just said was beautiful.
Okay. So a couple things. Number one, you'll never get anything you don't work hard for, right? Like, I don't know why success comes, right? Like I've seen friends that have worked less than me and harder than me that have been successful, and some that have worked harder and not hit it. You just have to do what feels right? Like I don't think there's a written plan that says if you do this, you'll be successful. So just work hard and hopefully success will come. Like one of the ladies that works for me literally just walked past and we have new glass walls, right? And she just walked past my office, my door's closed, and she just smiled and waved at me. Like, do you know how happy that makes me? Like, she likes me, right? Like, be likable, like it's little tiny things that add up to a lot of things, right? Like most people that walk past my office, and I joke around with them all the time, like, hey, you walk by 5 times, you haven't stopped by and said hello. Like, why not? Like, what can I do to get you to say hello? Like, I am the same person you are. I might be a little older, I might be younger, but I love my family as much as you love your family. And maybe I was lucky and blessed to be born in this place, but I don't take it for granted for one day. And I'm going to work hard for it every day to make sure that other people hopefully get to experience something good. So just do the best you can every day, right? That's all we can all do. And I truly believe good things come to people who work hard, and give back what you can. And it doesn't mean you have to write a check. You can give time. Time is more important than money. Like, there's a lot of people out there that can write a check, but giving back some time actually takes time. So, but we need both in the community, right? And have fun. Like, I go to a lot of golf tournaments. I don't really care for golf. I like having fun. So I support charities by golfing, and I have fun with my friends golfing. And I try and build up the business and communicate with people and have some fun. Like, business should be successful, should be fun. And surround yourself with really good people. Like, be part of the community that wants to give back. If you start hitting yourself with too many negative people, it's going to make you negative. So just be around good people. I think I don't know that I've ever thought about a tagline, but if you're going to be around good people, I mean, the ANRAC people, the Scott Creason people, kind of all the people I hang out with, Brent Andrews at Interstate Oil, with Make-A-Wish Foundation. I mean, there's a common theme. They're all giving back. Like, they're all part of the bigger part of the community. Like, every single business I know today, GR Trucking just hit me up for $500 for Pioneer Days. Like, everybody's doing what they can who has a successful business, and it's giving back to the community and trying to help give back to the community. So I don't think there's one thing you can do, but it's really do the best you can and be part of a good community.
Those are great insights. And one of the things that you hit on, and it's in a lot of books, is the importance of humility, and like what you just described, being just that down to earth, just the way you're like, just come in and say hello, and just keeping that sense like you're not bigger or better than anybody else. And I've seen that in you every time that I've connected, just how much you're just easy to approach and down to earth and humble in terms of just being other focused. And I think that makes a big difference for a leader of a company when they don't, it's not all about them and how they look and like, just, oh, you're down there and I'm up here. It's like, no, like, we are all the same. Like you said, like, hey, we all want to love our family. We all want to work hard. We all want to have a good life. Like, just getting down to the same level, which is how it should be, right?
100%. And honestly, I mean, I want a hat like you wear this hat that I think is just such a cool look. Like, I want to, like, I have a hat that rolls a little lip up like this. And I mean, but like, I love Justin. Like, he is probably the most, like, you look so great out in the community, right? Not only are you working hard for the community, but look what it's gotten you, right? I mean, you've worked super. And I'm joking around a little bit about the hat, but I love it. Like, I love what you do out there and how hard you really, and you believe, right? And you believe in helping people, but your success comes from helping people, whether it was by buying clothes and trying to help them do it, or to your new business, doing this and that. It's about giving back. It's about, like, if I can help somebody else, hopefully it helps me too, right? And that's where I say it's a fine line of, I want to do it all for the right reason, right? So when I have, 2,000 hats I give away a year, hopefully I'm doing that for the right reason, right? Hopefully it brings more business for me so that I can give more back to charity. I really hope that's what it's about. But it also allows me to give them back, and people love the hats, and people love the community and be a part. I mean, the ANRAC Cornhole Tournament and I gotta say the right name. It's not the Redneck Prom anymore. It's the All American Prom. But like, they give almost $1 million back within one weekend or 2 days. Like it's pretty awesome to be part of a community of people. And Justin's part of it. I mean, everybody, like that, we're all part of this, and it takes the whole team to work together. And it takes Tiger, and it takes Lund, and it takes, the Silva Gates, and all these companies to be part of it. And I tell you, it's a pretty humble place to be in life. To know that we're clogging the wheel, but it's the right thing to do.
100%. Well said.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Dom, what other question do you want to ask?
I mean, I was thinking about, the future of the organization, 25 years from now, what would you be proud to say that your legacy, has been, being part of Lund Construction and leading Lund Construction? Like what are those elements? I mean, obviously you've shared the impact and the importance of, being involved in community and having the organization as a whole give back and whatnot. But are there any specific things that you're looking to accomplish or take the company over the next 25 years?
Wow, that's freaking an amazing question right now, because I'm third generation, and both of my kids have told me they didn't want anything to do with the company. My daughter is 22. She's graduated college. My son's 21. He's at University of Oregon, he'll be a year away from graduating college. And my father, I remember telling my mother, I'm not sure Dad wants us to work there. She said, no, he does want you to work there. He just wants it to be 100% your decision, because he's not going to be easy on you. He's not going to give you anything. And so, the last couple of years, I've had a little problem with thinking, man, am I going to be the end of Lund Construction? And, maybe sell it, maybe the name continues on. But so my son finally said, Dad, maybe I might want to come back. What would that look like? And, I tell you, whether Lund Construction continues on with him or not, which I really hope it does, but I want the foundation, of giving back and like good people and having an opportunity to make enough money that they can provide their families good lives. I want that to continue on. That's more important. Whether that is, I don't even know how you sell it or how you do different things. There's words that I used to like to say, like ESOP and different things, and I've heard they're maybe not as good as they sound because I don't know enough about them. Right. So I don't want to say one specific thing. I would love my son to come back and keep this company. The same thing my grandfather started, 60 plus years ago. My grandmother, my father, who is 80 years old, who will be at work on Wednesday morning at 4:30, which I won't be. But he loves this place, and he actually loves the construction and the people more than he cares about the money. Like he comes in here and he sits down with a set of plans, and he helps the project managers work through stuff. Like he wants to help them build stuff. He's better at that than I'll ever be. But if I can help Tyler Creason, who's Scott Creason's son, who I talked about, who's an amazing project manager, be able to pass that on to younger people, right? Because he's he understands, the giving back, and he understands he wants to work hard and make money. So if we can create that atmosphere here, ownership doesn't, I like the ownership, I'm not going to lie. But that would be stupid to say I didn't. But giving back to the community and letting them have the same opportunities that I've had in life and feel good about at the end of their lives, that they were part of the community just as much as I feel like I am, that would actually make me feel pretty proud. And if that means my son actually wants to continue on with the Lund name and continue the company as a family ownership, that's fine. But if it changes to an ownership of other people, that's okay too. As long as the principles that I think my grandfather and grandmother really started, my father's continued on, I'm adding to them. As long as that continues on, then I'm going to tell you I'd be happy, because I think Tiger's done a great job of that with Mary right now, continuing on being a huge, good part of the community. And I really think if you could say, hey, if Lund was the same age as, that's what I want the community to remember our family as, is like not only a good employer, a fair employer, and they gave people opportunities and gave back to the community. That would be pretty cool as a legacy. So, yeah.
Well on your way.
She was on the city council. Yeah, thank you. And like I said, my mom was on the city council in Rockland for over 25 years. I mean,
wow.
You know, I talk about somebody who loved her community, and it wasn't about pay. They didn't make money in that city council, but she was the mayor for over 5 years. And she just taught me that the community is really, really like the important part. Yeah. And I mean, yeah, we're very lucky. Like we're all lucky. So, but luck is different things. So it's going to be what really you want. But for me, you know, there's a park already named after my mother. And I love when people go, oh my God, that's your mother? Pretty cool. Right? Like I don't need a park named after me. I want the Lund name to be my grandfather, my dad, me, my kids, and everybody who's associated with us, all the employees. That was a good company and they gave back. That would be important.
I love hearing that Jack is interested in coming back, because I know we've had some conversations around that, and that's super exciting.
Oh yeah,
you know, and I think your dad and your mom were spot on. Yeah, where your parents both knew that like if it's not their decision, like it was for you and your brother, then it's going to be problematic, because it's kind of
if you felt like you had to
forcing it.
Yeah, that's what my mom said. Listen, no, he wants you to work there. He just wants to be your decision. Well, you know, as a kid, I want dad to want me to come back, but it's like,
yeah,
he did. He just didn't want to say it. So that's what I'm trying to be. You know, I'm learning from what my dad did, and I'm trying to just be like, hey, you know, and I also believe in maybe he needs to work somewhere else first so he sees more about the world than just one window, right? Like I had a couple internships working for real estate companies and this and that. And I think it probably helped me out to become who I am.
I think it's similar to when you live in the same town for your whole life, or all growing up, and then you never leave. Like you don't know what else it's like outside, or learning from other places, or gaining gratitude and understand like how cool Roseville is, for example, because you haven't lived anywhere. But then you go live in like Oregon, you're like, well, it's beautiful here, but I really don't like these things about it. And then you come back to Roseville and you're like, oh man, this is really cool. But I also learned some cool stuff being in Oregon that I can apply being back in Roseville. I think the same thing applies for business. So I think I've seen that with family businesses where the son or daughter goes and works somewhere else and kind of cuts their teeth and gains some different perspective. And then they come back and they're like, oh man, I have it so good here. Like the way Kevin has built this company around the culture and the way everyone's so friendly and engaged, and we all care about each other. That other company, they were all just out for themselves and just kind of, it's all about just numbers and not about the people. And there was no community emphasis. And then they come back like, man, this, I want to be here. Like I have gratitude now for where I'm at. I'm not taking this for granted anymore.
Right. And that's what we're really trying to do. I mean, a lot of people, like, our new building is borderline, you know, a little too nice, but it is really about the culture and about the people. And I mean, McGuire and Hester has this building over in Alameda, and I remember going through their website, and I'll never forget, there was a little clip, and it said, we want, like, a lot of our people have to work on Saturdays just because we're busy in construction, this and that. But at least they have a nice place to work. And, you know, it meant a lot to me when I was building this building, hearing that. And, you know, like, it's a nice place to work. You want them to be in a place, like, yes, we all work a lot. I'm glad they at least have a nice place to work. So let's get back to the employees.
I just want to add something on that, you know, with your values, like the values you guys have set up and the way that you care about the community, you care about your employees, but it is literally like the words matching the decisions and the actions that is essential. Like taking that and actually living it out. And that's what you're describing is like, we want this. And so, yeah, like the decisions to invest in training, to invest in the the facility where we want our people to come and love being there and have a great experience. Like that's just you and your team saying, here are our values, here who we are, and we're going to actually live it out in the decisions we're making. And I just want to reinforce that's a great example of you guys living out your values.
Well, thank you. Yeah,
you're welcome.
It's been an awesome process.
Yeah. So, any last thoughts? Anything? Because we're hitting on the hour, and
I have to tell you, like I told you guys, like I don't know why it wasn't on my calendar because I know it was, and I wasn't sure, but I honestly, it's been I looked up, I'm like, holy cow, it has been an hour. Like it went easy. You guys are great. I know you, Justin, a little more, but I'm going to tell you guys like what you guys are doing. I think for the community it's the same thing that I'm doing, right? It's you're just trying to help young people understand what's good in the community out there. And I mean, if everybody did what you guys are doing, what you say I'm doing, what I believe Tiger, all these companies are doing, this world would be an amazing place. And it is an amazing place. So we just got to get up every day and help each other, right? I mean, that's really the goal is what can I do for other people? And not because I want something, but because it's the right thing to do. And if we all help each other, we'll all be better. Wouldn't it be great if all of us, we can't all win the lottery the same day, but wouldn't it be great? Wouldn't that vacation be great if we all won the lottery? Like, as long as we stick together, we all are winning the lottery, right? Like we all are helping each other move forward. And we're going to see you at the next event, the next golf tournament, the next here or there. And we're going to have a lot of fun. And that money's going to go to help a good cause. So we can't write those checks without being successful together. So
be the change you want to see in the world, right?
Yeah, and keep working hard. And gosh, just believe in it too. Like it's not just something to say; it's believe in it. Yeah. So.
Amen. Yeah. No. 100%.
Yeah.
So good having you on, Kev, and catching up.
Yeah, I would love to be back. Whenever you guys want me. But you guys are great. Thank you. And keep doing what you're doing too, because it takes a lot of getting the word out there.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thanks for coming on, Kevin. We really appreciate all of your generosity and your insights. And we'll definitely have you on as a future guest.
All right. Well, thank you guys.
Look forward to catching up soon. Talk to you later.
All right, guys. Have a great day.
See you. Bye.